sounds like somebody who doesn't want to hear what I'm saying, and that's how they reject information. Honestly, I don't. When trolls come out and cloud chasers, I don't really give them time.
Welcome to Fire TV. I'm Mama C, and this show we have Kurimeo coming up, reacting to some of the comments from his shows on our channel. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell so you know what's coming up. First, our comment comes from Anu Breed, and he says, "Wonderful job on the editing. I like how you did the back and forth, very professional. Kurimeo is a scholar and a good dude, and you did a wonderful job with the interview." Thank you so much. Odie Bliss comments, "Peace. Very interesting information. The truth is out there. Keep up the research. Looking forward to more info." Samuel Crooks says, "This interview should go viral. Much appreciated." And we totally agree. Let's all make that happen. Share, like, and subscribe. Yo Mama Sugarfoot comments, "Thank you for the insight. This is the best interview heard in a long time. Lived it." G West comments, "Love this. Great interview and love the energy. Much love and respect to you both. Thanks for sharing." Anthony Phillip comments, "Keep the good vibes coming. Love it. Wow."
So check this out. This is the voice of the South, Q Smitty. Make sure that you guys check out fyaahstarr TV. They bring that fire, baby. Make sure that you subscribe, like, comment, all that.
Isaiah Mystic, who came on our show a few months ago, check out the link in the bio to check out her interview. She says, "Yes, that's crazy you brought up Twilight because I thought of this a few months ago, how it's decoded with the truth of the Vatican and the vampiric beings that came here. And their one enemy was the native, I believe, primordial beings of the earth, and they could not go into the land of Amaruka without some kind of pact or something made."
Well, even the ancient Greeks tell us there was a barrier. When they're talking about Atlantis, they say when they talk about Atlantis, the Greeks, when they're talking about their past, they're already in the past. But when they're talking about their past and they're talking about their Atlantis legends, they said in the time of Atlantis, in those days, the Atlantic was navigable, meaning that during Plato's time and all these people's time, they couldn't cross the Atlantic for some reason. There was a barrier. You know, who's the hidden ones? Who's the hidden ones in Psalms 83? What does Hebrew mean? Literally means one from the other side, one who crossed the Euphrates, one who's beyond. That's what Hebrew means.
Wow.
You got to check the etymology of it. Yeah. Literally, it says one from the other side, immigrant, a migrant. We didn't call ourselves Hebrew. People called us, based on the person we followed and was speaking his language, which was Iberu. Supposedly he didn't participate in the Tower of Babel, so he grabbed his family and bounced, and that's why his language never got confused, whatever they say, yeah, basically that goes back to the vibration.
Child comments, "Could Thoth have come back as Jesus? I watched a video that compared statements from Jesus that were the same as Thoth's."
I did a video. I would love for anybody with the Thoth thing. I had 2 videos on Thoth and explaining all that. And Thoth is way before supposedly Jesus. So I don't know what they mean that came back as or Jesus came back as Thoth. Jesus is Thoth. The Rapist, Zeus, all these are epithets of Thoth is the ancient of ancients. That's where the maidens, that's their god. The grand architect, the guy who taught astrology, science. You got to remember who really taught these things. If we know scripture, we would know when they fell, they started teaching instruments, makeup, science to humans. Is science good? Always. That's a whole different topic.
Child comments again, "I just watched a video, Zuni, in the Grand Canyon, where they retraced the steps of their native ancestors back to where they first came. There was a huge tree stump by the waterfall. The mythical tree is where they were able to climb out of the canyon in the beginning. They showed that the tree existed
in the Grand Canyon. That's interesting. I'd like to see that one. But yeah, we had ancient giant trees. That's the other thing. People don't read scripture. That's in Daniel.
Damn, son, where'd you find
Yeah,
this?
it's a huge tree. just like Avatar. We had a lot of like a tower, the Devil's Tower. That's a tree stone. Mount Roraima. Mount Roraima might be the actual Eden, one of the Edens. They might have been on a tree instead of on a how we think mountain, because they say Eden
Yeah.
was in a mountain. What
Wow.
are mountains? That's when you get into the mud flood and all that. But definitely, we had ancient giant trees. A lot of our mountains and all that are actually tree stumps. A lot of the mesas and plateaus in Utah and all that, we see the ancient trees. That's why in the Grand Canyon, most likely.
Andrew Set says, what's he saying? That Joshua is the deliverer, that Yeshua was the creation?
Well, earlier I explained. I'm glad he said that because that Messiah, where he's getting delivered from. What do you think that person's getting delivered from? Messiah means the deliverer. He who he delivered, the deliverer. Who actually delivered the Israelites into Jerusalem? Joshua. He's the deliverer. Moses, when he died, he assigned Joshua. He died on the way during the Exodus, Deuteronomy 34. That's over there in Utah. We know where he died. That whole verse is in Utah. The whole verse. I did a video on that. And then he assigned Joshua, right? And it's not what I'm saying. It's not what I'm saying. So that's the thing. So this is past beliefs and stuff. Believing is what people are doing when they're into religion and Christianity. You guys are believing. I know the Most High. I don't believe in the Most High. I grew up believing. I believed a lot of things, but now I know the Most High. I know it's different.
Chichili comments, being a Christian, I wonder if y'all realize this is all low-key Gnostic Christian.
Well, Christianity is Gnosticism. I don't know what he doesn't understand what Gnosticism is. So again, like I said earlier, people can say a lot of things, People can say a lot of things. I like to get specific. So if he can get specific and say exactly what he believes is Gnosticism, Christianity, let's see if it really is, then we can really talk. But in general, it just sounds like somebody who doesn't want to hear what I'm saying, and that's how they reject information. Honestly, I don't when trolls come out and cloud chasers, I don't really give them time.
Jen A comments, it stands to reason that the Garden of Eden was in an Amazon. Apple represents the forbidden fruit that led to the fall of man, and the Amazon represents where it took place.
There's more than one Eden, but I think one of the Edens was in the Amazon, yeah.
Christopher Poston comments, according to the Anunnaki, in the Eden was over in the east, where they created hybrids, and they say they met indigenous beings in North America who were matriarchal. The Anunnaki were a patriarchal system.
Yeah, dude.
So according to the Anunnaki, right, that's their source, right? So what is an Anunnaki? It's a terrestrial from where? Like, where you get that info from? You get what I'm saying? The Anunnaki came out of Sakaria Sitchin's book, right?
Yeah.
Supposedly from translations of Sumerian tablets, right? Sakaria Sitchin didn't know Assyrian. He didn't know the old Assyrian because there is no Sumerian tablet. A Sumerian was a person who dwelled in summer. Like saying a Californian, somebody who lives in California. That could be anybody in the world though, right? Summer was a place. It wasn't a nation. The actual Sumerians, Cimmerians, were coming out of the Caucasus, Persian, going down. They were in Assyria, a lot of them, but the script, the writings, and they call them Sumerian and all that, it's mostly Assyrian script. All right, so we got an interpretation of one guy, right? And he's been proven to not really understand the language. The books are very old, so this is outdated information. And we got to get past, again, beliefs. Again, same like religion. You believe in extraterrestrials, you believe in Anunnaki. We're talking about things we can touch, see, research. So again, if we're gonna go into beliefs, I can say whatever I want, and he can say whatever he wants. So the Anunnaki, and then the Ethereans, and all the other planet and aliens. So what is the East? He did mention East. See, there was more land connection between America and Asia. Not just the Bering Strait. And when we were talking about the Far East, we were really talking about America. That Far East they never found. Ask me why they never know or knew where Marco Polo went when he rode and he went to the farthest east and he met the Grand Khan. Grand Canyon, there you go. Columbus came looking for the Grand Khan. It ain't, you know, we gotta understand history and stop with the beliefs and stuff, because that's really outdated New Age stuff that they wanted us to distract us with back then when we couldn't research.
The Guru comments, there's not two Edens. Eden came from Enki only. Also, that's not a tree at all. Ancient trees are redwood trees. Most haven't even seen the redwood forests. The Garden of Eden was in Egypt, not in South America.
First, you mentioned Enki, right? Enki and Enlil, again, goes back Sumerian, Sakari-Sitchin. We know the legends of Enki or the twin brothers. That's not just in Sumeria. We know Hades and Zeus, right? Evil and bad. We know Quetzalcoatl and Xolotl, and there was many more all over, and every nation had its own version of it. It's not just in Sumeria, you know. So again, Sakari-Sitchin came out talking about that was the oldest people. That was a whole distraction. There's nothing over there in Mesopotamia. That's all a lie. We got fossilized corn here from 9,000, 10,000 years ago. In Michigan, squash, they don't got none of that over there, where the cradle was supposedly at. But we got fossilized fields of corn here. Corn is from here, and that's what helped humans civilize. But when we're talking about East, again, or over there, or Egypt, Egypt is a Greek word. All right, I'm gonna break down the etymology for Egypt for those who don't know, because it seems like that person doesn't know. The etymology of Eden is the house or temple of Ptah, or Ptah, right? It's not a landmass in Africa. It has nothing to do with a landmass, a specific landmass in Africa. It means a specific thing, temple of the Ptah or house of Ptah, which was in Memphis, right? Located in a place called Memphis. That never said nowhere in Africa, right? And Memphis means Menes, or the first king. It wasn't really a place either, you know. Mizraim is Memphis. That was descendant of Ham. Ancient Egypt, by its own people, it was called Tamari. Beloved land, Tamari, Ameri, Grand Canyon, Little Egypt. Where's Little Egypt today? Near the Mississippi. All that, the Mississippi, the Nile, Greek word, Nile means great river. Nile doesn't mean a river in Africa. Nile means specifically great river. How does that translate to river in Africa? Now, when you go into other research, when you stop focusing and being stuck emotionally, not based on facts, but emotionally based on feelings, you're believing, again, beliefs, you believe, just like religion. You don't have to be religious to act like a religious person. So a lot of people criticize Christians and Islamic. They're also into beliefs too, and they don't realize it. Pan-African is a belief. Coming out of monkeys, all that is a belief. All right. Okay, so let me continue. So the word Mississippi is an Ojibwa, Chippewa word, which means great river. So what great river are we talking about? When we have all the correlation knowing Egypt had corn. How did Egypt have corn if that's a native plant to America? How did they have cocaine and all that? You know? Where's the real river? There was mounds all over the Mississippi, right? From the bottom all the way to the top. The Hopewell culture, the mound builders. That was when we talking about ancient. Yeah, we're talking about America. We got it all here. First mummies made, Chile, Peru, the Chinchorro mummies, older than Egypt. The first pyramids built in the world, Caral Supe, not just one little pyramid like they show in Saqqara, Egypt, their oldest, which has fallen, and it looks like a step, like a Mayan, like they try to replicate the Mayan thing, right? We have Caral Supe in Peru, the oldest pyramids in the world. It's not just one pyramid, it's a whole city complex, where they also found fossilized corn, canals, ancient canals. We invented all that here. architecture, you know, calendars, all that. The Mayas, what's up of zero, you know. So what are you talking about ancient when you say you're right, but you're thinking it's over there. Egypt is a Greek word. It didn't exist back then. So Mary, the great river, we were here. Yeah, we were here. Again, I told you earlier. So people probably don't. They think I said Moses in Utah. They probably thought I was saying he came from Middle East. Where were they in bondage? Where were they in bondage, and where did people get brought back to bondage in Scripture? Didn't it say in Deuteronomy 28 you would be brought back to bondage on ships? Back, going back. How are you going back? If bondage was in America, how does that? If it was supposed to be in the Middle East, Egypt, right? If ancient Egypt was over there, how are the slaves ending up in America? And then you're talking about going back to bondage. You're using Scripture, Deuteronomy 28, to show that you're an Israelite. Because look, we got enslaved, and we got sent to the plantations. Where was that in America? Where the Scripture said you'll be brought back to bondage? Where did that happen in America? Brought back. Again, ancient Egypt. Moses left most likely from the Ohio, Midwestern area right there. Made his way to Utah, down through Mexico, and all the way to Peru. That would probably take 40 years. They can't even explain today why Moses and the Israelites were lost for 40 years in such a short little distance in that desert. Yeah. How did he get lost? Especially with the Most High guiding them. The Most High didn't know where he was going, I guess. All right, so people don't think about stuff like that. They told us history in reverse. We got to break the spell. I'm being real now. We got to break the spell. You got to break your own spell. You got to get off the beliefs, break the spell. They told us history in reverse. There's a true terrestrial paradise, and it's not over there.
Eco comments, oldest land arose out of water, Turtle Island, aka America.
Well, not only an oral or history in the Mayas foundation is about the turtle. Mayak means the turtle coming out of the bottom of the water, Mayak. But apart from that, when we go into science and real sources and real facts and real history, if you study Louis Agassiz, he's the most famous geologist that ever kind of existed. When you take geology in school, you have to go through his curriculum, his books, right? Louis Agassiz and his book, Geological Sketches, anybody can go look for it, right? First chapter, America, the True Old World. First chapter, that's what he named it, America, the True Old World. And he explains that the oldest land in the world that came out of the waters is in the Laurentian Mountains in Canada, right? Wow. Now, recently, and this is funny because I was reading an article on Google News, and it says that they found evidence because of the snow melted in Antarctica. They went to one of their mountains or something, and they found some sample that only exists in the Laurentian Mountains in Canada. And it goes, the Laurentian Mountains goes from Canada all the way down into basically the Gulf of Mexico, and that's where it just breaks up all of a sudden. And wow. They determined supposedly, with their Pangea thing, that that's where it was coming from. So when we're talking about oldest land, yeah, America. When we're talking about ancient animals coming out of the America, food, 600 out of 640 food crops in Africa originated in America. In America, a true terrestrial paradise. We feed the world. When we talk about gold, silver, it's not in Africa. They lied to us. They lied to all. We have the most sources. There was a reason for that. And the lady with the comment, she was kind of right in a way. We had a paradise. It was a barrier. We had everything. So what happened? Why did the barrier open?
Thank you. Come again.
Yeah, no problem, man. It was a pleasure now. Yeah, thanks for having me.